back. Today's children, especially Gen Z and Gen Alpha, are growing in a world led by AI, digital communication, and a constant access to information. And to know more about our topic today, I'm so delighted to be accompanied by Dr. Ibrahim, Tahyawy, the educational expert. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you today?
It's always
are you
a
fine?
pleasure, Doctor.
It's a pleasure. I'm really grateful to meet you again.
Thank you. The parents' role is very important, but this is a very difficult equation. Let's be clear. Nobody leaves his home. Parents or children or whomever.
Yeah.
So they look at you. You also on your phone all day. You're scrolling. You're doing that. They don't get the idea of its this filtration because for your sake and all of that. So I think this is like create a gap between parents and children.
Sometimes
and they go more stubborn.
Yeah, and especially because most of the parents nowadays are busy. You are busy, I'm busy. All parents nowadays are very busy. Busy till 5 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock all the day. Sometimes some parents travel. Okay, here I'd like to focus on the highlights. One of the most important things happen in our society. One of the children, he has no father because his mother is divorced. What happened during talking with a child like that? He began to take all his dogmas, his criteria, his beliefs from what? Not from his mom, because he couldn't.
From AI, from
he
technology.
is shy to talk with his mom, and there are some affairs. He is shy to talk with his mom, so he went to social media. And here he found some answers which are not applicable, are not polite, are not true, are fake. At the same time, can you imagine what happened to this child? He began his mind to be hesitant between what's true and what's wrong. He can't decide what's right, what's wrong.
Yes.
So can you imagine when you create a person like that in society, will he be qualified to face the challenges of the society? Will he be qualified after that to make a relation? I mean here a normal relation with his wife and lead a family and something like that. Will be a normal person? No. So here, from this honorable program Nile Cross, I'd like to send my message firstly to the parents. Take care. If even you are divorced, please let your children to talk with their father. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, especially boys or girls,
especially in this period of shaping their
yeah, of course, shaping his personality, shaping his thoughts, his criteria. All these are very, very important. In fact, I find, and I'd like talking with some teenagers especially, because you know the teenage requires some persuasive persons. If you don't persuade him and he is not persuaded, he will search what? ChatGPT or Gemini to find his answer.
For is to be convinced.
Yeah, of course, to find his answer. So what about religious affairs? What about political affairs? Once upon a time I was talking with one of the girls. She told me there is no God, for example. Okay, and we began to argue about this one. Who told you that? I searched many, and she told me ChatGPT, Gemini. Some scholars in some countries, I don't like to mention some countries, say that and that and that, and what is the proof? Okay, we didn't see him, we didn't see our Allah, we didn't see. So she went why in a very serious way. Okay, so if she doesn't find a person who is persuasive, who can convince her of one and two and in a logic way, in fact she is going to to complete her way, ChatGPT and Gemini and so on.
Exactly.
And find some, you know, that we have the worldwide of social media is open. We can't stop it. So it's very, very serious problem. This girl after that wasn't convinced. So who can convince these dogmas? Who can convince this point of view? Okay. Sometimes even if she is convinced, she found something else in the society. For example, when she travels abroad, she finds also something else. Okay, new culture, new traditions in worldwide when travel with her mom or her dad. So here I'd like to say that it's due time to take care our parents to not to prevent. Prevention is very, very not healthy case. I found that and I experienced that. Okay, with my children, in the same time with my children all over Egypt, because I'm a trainer, as a certified trainer from the British Council. I meet from time to time some children and talk with them, let them express their thoughts in some training sessions in front of teachers or some trainees. I found it difficult and difficult opinions and different opinions. So I have to shape and put these opinions on the right track. By what? By persuasion. You have to persuade them, okay? Especially this generation, you know, is capable of finding the information in a second. Before, it was difficult to find the information because we had to go to the library to open a book, 2 or 3, to find a piece of information. Nowadays, you can find the information directly at a sudden, okay, in a second.
Exactly, it's
so,
easier.
Yeah, it's easier, but at the same time, it's very easy. But what about, is it right? Is it wrong? And who can decide? Who can shape that? Who can say that this information is right and this is wrong? Parents. This is the first stage. This is the first step. After that, school, teachers. And here I'd like to send my message to the Ministry of Education. Please, as a trainer, I'm saying that I found many teachers in front of me as trainees who don't have the culture or enough culture to persuade their students or their learners. So how can you give the ability of a teacher? He is only a teacher giving information, but is he capable of persuading all this? Does he have the ability to invade their minds and their hearts? All the time I say that if you possess the key of the mind and the heart of the student or the trainee in front of you, everything will be solved, everything will be okay. He will love you, he will respect you, so he will listen to you. Okay, so if you try to convince him, he will be convinced.
Yeah, but doctor, you know, what I believe is the first step is that prepare the parents before being parents by whatever initiative, like they have to be educated. We spoke about that before. There is difference between education and teaching. It's totally different.
Yes.
Education includes morals, it includes principles, includes lots of untouchable.
Yeah, of course. All the time I say this title or this topic, are you a teacher only or are you an educator? So there's a great difference between this and that. If you are a teacher, you are teaching only information to this generation. Alpha generation don't need only information, okay, from you, because information.
They need evidence.
Yeah,
also.
Information is found worldwide, it's found everywhere, but they need what? To be an educator. They need you to, as I told you, Your Excellency, to invade your hearts and their minds. Okay?
True.
This relation or this strong ties and strong relation is very, very important in the educational process. And here I mean by educational process, whether at homes, at schools, at mosques, churches, it's very, very important to try to convince this generation. And I'm focusing on convincing or persuasion because I find many, many students. Last week, one of my colleagues, he brought me a student. She was a girl, and was talking about what happened after gym opening, okay, great Egyptian museum. And she was talking about one of the pharaohs, Ramses II, and I read that he was Pharaoh who was following Prophet Moses, and so some other scholars say no, and I don't believe that, and. So I told her, whether he is or not, what's the matter here? What's wrong with you? Why you are focusing on that? Why?
Point, yeah.
She told me and surprised me that she is talking with abnormal persons. And I don't like to mention the country she is talking with, because they try here to persuade her, especially after the opening of GEM or Great Egyptian Museum, that of fake news, of fake information, okay, to persuade her or put her not on the right track, but to convince her that
distraction.
What you are yes, that's right. What you are talking about in Egypt, in your country, is not true, and your country is not the country of civilization, and he may take her to what this civilization is our civilization maybe. That's right.
Exactly.
It's not your civilization. Can you imagine? He wants to take the child or this white sheet of paper. A child, she's a white sheet of paper. He wants to take her to to his track, to his ideas, to his dogmas, to his criteria. Can you imagine to what extent do we reach? So again, I'd like to warn all parents not to prevent again, but to try to guide. It's very, very important. What about the mobiles? Don't allow your son to take mobile at school, because he may use them. He must, and he's going to without taking your permission.
Yeah.
So at home, it's your duty, your mom, your dad, to watch you, to observe you. Okay, not to make some
Not
kind
to control.
of policing or something like that, yes, but
Investigation.
because, you know, generation and especially Gene Alpha don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay, when they are observed, they are going to leave the whole house and watch where away from the sight
Yeah.
of their parents. It's very important. Again, it's very, very important to try to observe them and guide them, because sometimes they try to watch what's abnormal.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, for example, this video is for age above 18. They are energetic, they are enthusiastic, they are curious to watch these videos. How can you prevent that? Although we said this video, for example, over 18 or plus 18. So how can you prevent something like that? You can't. In this open world, you know. So it's my duty to talk with him, to convince my son, to convince my daughter, okay, not to leave them to these videos, to these worlds which may affect them after that. I can't forget, for example, a person who told me, I don't want to marry. Why? Because of what he saw, for example, on one of the applications. You know, it's a famous application, I'd like to mention it. He found what a fake person who is wearing uniform of a woman, although he's a boy or he's a man, you know.
Yeah.
And last also month, one of these persons was arrested by the police officers, and he was wearing a mask, makeup on one of the applications. So why? Because he wants what? Viewers, so he can do whatever you need and whatever he wants to, only for money. So how can we prevent that? I'm watching, are watching, our sons are watching. How can we guide? How can we convince our sons that take care of this?
It's invisible weapon.
Yes, of course. Okay. So once upon a time also about fake or fake news. One of the professors, can you imagine, one of the professors of universities, he spread a video. He shared the video on social media. My comment was what? Please, doctor, we learn from you in a respectable way. The translation here, it was a video for President Trump. I found that translation in Arabic totally different from what the actually conversation or actual words from his tongue. So my comment was, please, doctor, take care, because I found that translation is something and his speech is something else. What did he do? Can you imagine? He made a spam to hide my comment. Okay? Why? Because I revealed his ignorance, although he's a professor in various. So this, I swear, this happened on social media. So I send my message to the Minister of Education himself, Mr. Mohammed Al-Latif, and I think he will respect my point of view when I say it's not enough to make contracts for teachers only because we need teachers. No, we have to train them to qualify them for this generation, because this generation doesn't need only a person who has a PhD or master degree. This generation wanted some qualifications in their teachers. He wanted a cultural teacher. He wants what? He wants, boy or girl, he wants a teacher who is capable of convincing him. It's very, very important.
Well, this generation is really lucky, and but they should be more careful. And of course, we wish them all the best, because they are the future of this country. Well, Dr. Ibrahim Tahyawy, I would like to thank you so much, the educational
Thank you.
expert. We have a very informative interview. As always, I would like to thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm really grateful. Many
so
thanks. My appreciations.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving to another topic.